Hello and welcome to the Stream of Chaos. My name is Dave and I will be your game master for this pre-session of Pendragon, where we are going to be creating our player nights for an upcoming campaign that will span us across several products over the course of an undetermined period. We'll be taking breaks to return to Call of Cthulhu and other games, but our intention is to return to these characters and to this setting sort of around the others as we go. We are beginning with the core rulebook, because we're going to be creating our characters through this. And we are also going to be shortly using the upcoming Pendragon Game Master's Handbook, which is currently available for pre-order over on chaosium.com, because that has a scenario in it which takes our young squires and raises them to knighthood. And then it very excitingly plugs straight into the starter set campaign, which we've kind of teased a little bit. We've actually run the solo adventure on the channel before, where we witnessed young Arthur draw the sword from the stone. So we will be kind of picking that thread up, but now with our own knight characters, going through those sections, and then depending on how we go, sky's the limit. The Grey Knight campaign actually plugs straight into the starter set in turn, so there's just like so much runway, and it's very exciting. And really looking forward to jumping into it. There is, along with these products, of which the starter set, the starter set and the core rulebook and the Grey Knight are available over on chaosium.com presently, and the Game Master's Handbook is up for pre-order at the moment. There is also the Companions of Arthur, which is the Miskatonic repository equivalent. So there's a bunch of really incredible authors over there creating yet more content for this game. Loads of stuff to support your adventures in a realm of myth and legend. I think that kind of covers all of it. We'll jump in by just saying howdy. We don't have knights to introduce yet, but if everyone wants to just say hello so we can recognize these familiar faces, we'll begin with Jackson, because Art isn't here, and that throws our order.
Well, that's right. We were out with Art for a little while. I'm Jackson. I am playing Pendragon for, I think I did a few games a few years ago, like an older edition, but my memory's all gone. And I played half of the solo adventure on stream. Right. So I might, because I had to miss next week, so I might go back and play the second half on my own. I think I mentioned this last time. Mark Morrison, who I think is the community coordinator for Pendragon, has a house rule, which is no Monty Python references. They are banned and they get your character instantly killed. And I am fully in favor of that house rule if everyone else is.
I heartily agree. I think the silliness will happen in the game. We can generate it ourselves. Chat is free to make Monty Python references, and if they're on the table, we'll encourage you to pick them up. But, that's where they can stay.
What about non Holy Grail references? Like if we get a really good Silly Hat Club thing coming up from
I'm not going to enforce it. It's up to the gamekeeper. But
no, I think that sounds very sensible. We'll go across to Jim.
Yes, I am Jim. Pretty excited about Pendragon. Scanning the passions list, I would describe myself as more cowardly than valorous, more chaste than lustful, and I am the most modest person in the world.
Fantastic. We'll go across to Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex. I played the solo adventure, which we never play solo, and if you haven't checked that one out on YouTube, I would highly recommend doing so, because not only will it get you prepared for what we're about to play, it's also bloody hilarious to watch us pretend to be one person when we are in fact two, sometimes three. I am looking forward to having an equally, logical and based in we're randomizing characters. We're doing it completely random.
If there is a table, we will roll on it. If there is not a table, we will count down the options and then roll on that.
We're making no decisions. We're living with the outcomes. It's going to be great.
We'll figure it out. We'll go backwards to make it work. Yeah, that's the last thing I want to mention. Thank you, Jax. This is we're relatively new to Pendragon. I've played the solo adventure and played a little bit of it previously, but our intention with this campaign is to go through it and learn it as we do. So we will be referring to the books, and we'll be making liberal use of the way that the scenarios are written, particularly the Game Master's Handbook and then the starter set one, where it kind of teaches the rules as we go. So we'll be kind of adding on complexity step by step. We may not use all of the rules initially, but we will endeavor to kind of just slowly build on them as we become more comfortable and confident in the system and we make the world our own. Yeah, I think that covers everything. So for our session today, we're going to be going across a few different screens, and we'll try and keep the chat involved. I'll probably not show the PDF too often because we can just talk through like where we're at in character creation. But we are using Roll20 for our character sheets, and I've just tapped across there. Yep, there we can see that. Oh, that's my test one. We don't want that. We have our character knights here, so we'll be able to show you what decisions are being made, where the numbers are lying, and kind of talk a bit about how those pieces have come together. Very much encourage anyone who's joining in chat to chime in with ideas or thoughts about maybe how we can apply these characteristics or what that might imply about a knight. And yeah, we'll just move through it beat by beat. All right, without further ado, let's begin. So, the three of you and Art, when they return to our campaign, are playing as knights in this realm. Specifically, you're going to begin as pages, and then you're going to become squires. And then the cusp of our first scenario is going to begin on the cusp of your knighthood. You are expecting, or hoping at least, to be knighted soon so that you can swear your allegiance to your lord and begin to make a name for yourself to earn your glory and to leave your signature on this world. So pages is you'd have picked this up when you were about 7, and then you'll do that through until you are 14. It's mostly just sort of observation and getting good at doing the things you are told to do. Really, getting rid of any of that desire to, I guess, just thrash around and be a child. And then as a squire, that will run you from 15 up to typically 21. You can get younger knights. At 18 is kind of the absolute earliest, and that's typically only really done if someone's like, ooh, dad's not looking good, we need someone to inherit this, so let's elevate young Timmy. You're a knight now, here's your sword, and whoop, there goes Pop. You need to lead our little kingdom. So then from 21 and onwards, if everything goes well, you will be knighted, and you will serve under a lord, and you'll do their tasks and make your mark on the world. If you don't become a knight, you are an esquire, which is, my understanding is kind of like you just haven't ticked the boxes for it enough, so you can still be knighted later on. There's quite a few requirements for being a knight. There's some very clear game ones, like you need certain skills to be high enough. They are almost all martial skills. You are warriors, you're, the tanks of the field. So you need to be able to get out there and kill stuff to protect your lord or to attack the other one. But there's also some other requirements that are pretty financially tied. Things like you just need a really good sword and a good horse and armor. And if you don't have all of that, I'm not knighting you because you're not going to be able to do anything for me. So you get people that maybe just haven't been able to kind of raise those funds just yet. The character creation suggests some limitations on what we do for our first characters, and we're going to honor those because I think they're a great idea, and they tie us straight into the scenario. So you are all from the same general region. You are all going to be Christian knights, and you're also all inheritors to your family's line, the lineage. You would be the eldest typically son, although you absolutely can be the eldest daughter. And you basically, once you've been knighted and after a little while goes, you will be able to actually, like, you'll probably get a small claim and an area, and then you can begin to kind of build that up and personalize it a bit. We'll get an opportunity to look at our family histories a little bit later, but the first stage in character creation, or where I want to begin, is with generating our characteristics. So there are 5 characteristics. They are all the physical qualities of your character, and they then get sort of divided and multiplied and added together and all sorts of wonderful things to create a number of their derived characteristics is what they're called. So, your size determines your knockdown value and adds into your health and things like that. So the values are, there's your size, there's your dexterity, there's your strength, your constitution, and your appeal. I think they're relatively straightforward and fairly similar to those of us that have played quite a bit of Call of Cthulhu. So size is height, weight, that sort of thing. Determines how easy you are to shove over. Dexterity is your nimbleness and how quick you are moving around. Very important for knights because that's what's going to keep you in your horse. It's also the base level for a lot of your weapon skills. Strength is how good you smash stuff. Also good for a knight, would you believe? You smash stuff quite a lot. Constitution, your health and vitality, you're going to want that. And lastly, your appeal is your sort of natural calm, charm, and attractiveness. It affects a number of these skills as the base level and actually the upper level for what you can do when we begin play. So the way that we generate each of these is there is a constructed method where you divide a number of points between them, and there is a random method, which is what we're going to be doing today. In the random method, you go down the line and you roll 2d6 and you add 5 to it, and you do that for all of them. So strength, then dex, size, then dex, then strength, then con, then appearance. 2d6 plus 5. And what I'll get each of our players to do is to roll those values in the chat, begin to fill out the character sheet, and we'll just kind of discuss it as we go and begin to get a sense of who these knights are and what their strong points are. So the command should just be /roll 2d6 plus 5. And if you want to just, however you guys want to do it, just call out with, you can write size /roll 2d6 plus 5, or just roll them all back to back and know the order that you're doing. I'd trust you guys to find where they need to go.
While we start going, I'll throw out a tidbit quickly because it's burning a hole in my pocket.
Please.
I read somewhere that another reason for knighting was that if a squire saved their lord in battle sometimes, and it could be purely a case of like a 17-year-old kind of just running in and whacking somebody or handing somebody a weapon at the right time.
Yeah.
They would often just knight them because it's very embarrassing to have somebody who's not a knight save you.
That's so funny.
I like that.
I really like that. Ooh, a 15 at the end there, Jackson.
Nice.
1,
Yeah,
2,
saved
3,
it.
4, 5.
Can I
Nice.
roll more than one thing
that
at
didn't
a
work.
time?
If you just spam writing the... Oh, you also need a plus in there, Jim.
Yeah, I started
I just did copy paste.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
just
5 times.
mash it. And just know your order. That'll be fine. No, you need a plus in that.
Oh, 2d65, that's fun. I'm so bad at this.
That's very entertaining about the rapidly knighted squires. It's really clear that, and it explicitly states the objective of Pendragon is attaining glory. So building up your renown, you will start with a base glory and you will earn it by doing things and, hold yourself well in a feast. That's glory. Win a battle. That's glory, baby. And possibly get saved by your squire. That might lose you glory. So all of these things plug together.
I'm a bit of a wimp, aren't I? I'm a little bit wimpy.
Bit
I think I'm a
wimpy.
wimp.
A little small.
Oh no.
Has...
That's a lot of red. A lot of ones in there, Alex. Okay.
Hey, look. Yeah, that's a 7. I'm very excited about you having a very low roll.
That's right in the middle, so you know what that is. That's strength.
Oh, hell yeah. So I'm going to go to the sheets and we'll just go through. So Alex, Looking
12
at
is
yours.
Yeah,
looking at
12
the
is the
maths.
average.
12 is the average.
Oh
right?
wow, yeah. Damn, Alex, you got really you got really screwed by that one.
I'm a real wimp, guys.
I am very excited by that. Okay, so
What was?
yeah.
Whereas Jackson is an absolute Chad. 14, 15, 15.
Yeah, I mean, a Chad, except for where strength is concerned, I got 9 strength.
That's true.
Jax, you also have 15 appearance. You're just beautiful.
I did pretty well.
You did really
15
well.
appeal, size dex 14, con 12, paying on average, just strength. Just don't ask me to carry anything,
Don't ask me.
please.
Let's have a look at Jim's. Jim
Me
also.
to carry something, it'll be real funny.
Oh, Jim's got very high dex and very low appearance. That's also, you
And
know.
then kind of within the scope of average. I mean, I have 12 bang on average for size. Strength is 11, so practically the same. Con 10.
Yeah, just kind of happily in the middle ground. All right, very exciting. The next point is you guys are for where you're from. You get a bonus. So you are all
From Logos?
yes, that's right. And as the Cumric people, you get a bonus to. Here we go. You get a +3 to Constitution. So all three of you get +3 to Con. So just add that on top.
Nice.
Plus 2 or 3, did you say?
+3. I don't know which one I said. That is the one I meant,
Really?
though.
Okay. Well, now I'm 14, 14, 9, 15, 15.
Jesus. Well, look, there's a clear person who should do well, and there's a clear person who's going to be the. We've got an underdog and an overdog, which is a great
That's
combination.
the
Again.
game.
And that's the
Again.
game, baby.
Don't make me carry anything.
So from all of these, we derive a number of characteristics. Now, the character sheet will have just applied a bunch of these, and over on chaosium.com you can get PDF versions of the Pendragon sheet, and one of them is the auto calc form fillable, so I think that will do a lot of this as well. But for the nature of sort of understanding it and being to get a sense of what it is that these numbers do and why they're important, and also why you might want to increase them later on when you get the opportunities to do so. We'll just talk through each of them. So let's go. Let's pull up one of the sheets. Let's use Alex's.
Yeah,
Because that's the one that I'm most excited about. Where shall we begin? So going down this sort of health column, your hit points have been determined by your constitution and your size added together. Increasing either of those will give them a little bit of a bump. The next one is your knockdown value. It begins equal to your size, and if you take that value or more in a single hit, you could be knocked down. Haven't looked at that rule specifically. I think it's like a chance to kind of get. It's a bit like the major wound trigger and suddenly I might get taken out a little bit early, or can I stay up? The next one is there's a major wound right next to it, so that probably doesn't make sense. Well,
I think knockdown is to do with jousting. Oh, sorry, horseback, if I remember correctly.
that could be cool.
But I might be totally wrong.
Well, if I get 2 seconds, I'll look it up quickly. Major wound is based off your constitution score, and any damage greater than that or equal to it denotes a major wound. And unconscious is what's unconscious equal to? It's equal to your total hit points divided by 4, and all of these you then round up. So unconscious is fun. If you get, so you have 24 hit points, but if you get taken down to, Alex, in your instance, 6 or 5, you are knocked unconscious. You're out of the fight. And that could save you. If you're in a large battle or a melee or something and you get knocked down to the ground, there's a chance you just get disregarded and people continue to fight around you. Whereas the longer you stay up and continue to fight, the more risk of a more grievous or finishing fatal wound. So that's how each of those work. I'll look up major wound and knockdown later, and we'll talk about those a little bit more. I actually want to look at hit points in general a bit more because We looked into this a bit when we did the solo adventure, but it wasn't super relevant to it. My understanding of wounds is you track each of them independently and heal them independently. So when you get like a nick from a sword, you'll just add a 1-point wound, and that might be healed fairly quickly. But if you have a more serious one, you could carry that with you for a while, even though your lesser wounds slowly scab up and fade away. But yeah, once you guys have some activities to do, I'll go and look through the rules, and we'll talk about those a bit more. Other values, you've got your movement rate. That's how quickly you can whip around. Armor points and glory, you don't have that just yet. The last one on there is your healing rate, which is your constitution divided by 5. And that's whenever you sort of get a chance to rest. Also, when first aid is done to you, you'll heal that value. So the last one, and this is one that you'll need to make decisions on, is you each have distinctive features. And these are determined by your appearance score. So I've got a lovely table, and everyone, based on their appearance, has a number of distinctive features. They can be negative or they can be positive.
I'm one off ill-favored.
You're just plain, unfortunately. So the book does have a number of options that you can choose from and you can take inspiration from. What I'll also encourage you to do is just sit on these, and as we go through the rest of character creation, see if anything inspires you. Because of the way we're doing this, we are also going to be randomly generating our personality traits. Are we just particularly energetic? And I think if you go straight into this with like a really high lazy score, that tracks for a distinctive feature. This is something that is known about you. Now, these are outwardly presenting. This is stuff that people are aware of about you. It is stuff that people, like, as soon as they see you, they kind of mark you for this and might call you out as it. So, and you're kind of giving these to me as fodder for how to identify your character. So, if it's a trait, it'd be something that you clearly wear on your sleeve a bit. But just have that in your mind. What is everyone's... so, Alex, you are plain. You will get one negative trait and one positive one.
So deeply average.
Just straight on.
And then looking at size, looking at everything else, just average.
Just
so
the
average.
Guy.
just that one.
Jim, that's 9? Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
you are ill-favored.
I'm
you
so
will
jealous.
have 2 negative features. Jackson, you're 15, right? You're fair.
Yep.
You have 2 positive.
Fair. I am so fair.
You have 2 positive features, and actually, if you get an opportunity to increase, I believe if you get more, you would, like, if your appearance value changes, you will get more. So, Alex, if you reduce your appearance somehow, congratulations, you can get another. You can lose that positive and get a negative. And Jackson, you are just on the cusp of elegance. So if during one of the upcoming improvement periods, we will have those during this. Yeah, if you want to knock that up a little bit, you could have 3. And I think that is so remarkably beautiful. I think you gain more glory passively because people just love you. They love talking about you. They love looking at you. So
I'm gonna send away for a beautician that knows the latest styles from Londinium.
That's it. Great Londinium.
Take your bowl cut and shave a patch into the center. It's the hot new fashion.
A
All the
tonsure,
kids are
right?
doing these days.
Yeah. So if you want to, in distinctive features, it's just underneath your character name in personal data. If you just want to put in like 2, like 1 positive, 1 negative, 2 positive, 2 negative, whatever you have, and then just think about those as we continue forward. Okay. How are we thinking about characters so far? Are these beginning to? You kind of got to, like, you can kind of see where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Sir Himbo at your service.
You're making Lancelot before Lancelot arrives on the scene, which is exciting.
It's gonna be bad when you guys meet.
Yeah.
You meet Lancelot and just be like, this bitch.
It's the scene in what's the Ben Stiller model movie?
It's
Zoolander.
It's Zoolander. It's
Yes.
you and him.
You're-
Isn't his name Lancelot or something? What's the? It's something like that. The other guy. The
Chat to help us.
can't remember. Anyway, that's
And
going to be you
Hansel?
two just strutting through the hall.
Yeah.
Very excited.
I do. If I understand how Pendragon works correctly, we're almost too early for you, if you know what I mean. Because I understand that the early stage of the game is like a bit more Dark Ages, whereas the end it gets to very kind of Renaissance, early modern
Oh yeah,
fanciness.
Yes.
it's like a really compressed time scale.
That is right. So we begin just before the spoilers boy king period. So Hansel, he's so hot right now. There we go. Yeah, Hansel, very close to Lancelot. You can see where I was coming from. So begin just before the boy king period, and then we travel through. And based on my very like sort of cursory study so far, Lancelot will not appear for some time. So that's like the romance period, which is to come. So, but that means by the time we get there, you'll have proven yourself, Sir Jackson, and made a name for yourself as beautiful and gorgeous and ever so kind.
It's true.
I started studying the canon back because I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna start playing. I may as well know, and I've done it very badly because I got a bunch of the books and it was like, you really should read the Song of Roland because that gets you into it. And I'm like, all right, okay, cool. So I started with the Song of Roland, got most of the way through it. I was like, damn, why didn't I read this in French? So I started it again in French, and I haven't finished it. So I haven't got anywhere. I'm reading the wrong thing.
Half of it in 2 different languages. That's basically the whole book.
Exactly. Half of the peripheral product.
Fantastic. So the next thing we're going to do is I have this habit of when I'm not doing anything, I just scroll idly through the PDF. I just like roll my mouse key, and I just every time I look up to start talking, I'm in a random chapter looking at the pictures, which is great for me, unhelpful for running this. So we are going to do your personality traits. These are, if I had to put a name on it, my favorite thing in Pendragon. No,
Yeah.
Glory is my favorite thing in Pendragon. This is my second favorite thing in Pendragon. So these are all those words, and we'll show Alex's sheet again. These are all these words down the side. So we've got personality traits, sort of chaste or lustful, energetic and lazy. And we got a chance to play with these in the solo adventure where when like you kind of want to be spurred either to act in a certain way or to restrain yourself from acting in a certain way, you'd roll against these. And they can, similar to how in Call of Cthulhu, that bout of madness can tip you over the edge from doing something sensible into doing something very risky. These can, yeah, sure, it would be absurd to confront the king, but, you know, he's not being very reckless, and you are, you know, like, and that can just, it just keeps that story moving, and it's how you get these, like, really exciting beats. So the first thing we need to do for this, though, is we need, we don't technically, but I think the way we're going to do it is your religious virtues. So your religion will determine which things your culture kind of holds dear, that you prize above others. And like being Cumric gave you a bonus to Constitution, these will give you bonuses to these values. Now, as I said before, everyone's Christian, except the book does have that there is a 1 in 6 chance that you could be pagan. So I propose everyone does the 1d6 roll, and if anyone rolls a 6 right now, you're pagan. Otherwise, we're all Christians.
That's spicy. I like that.
Yep. And that would give you different virtues, and also you're Christian. Alex is also a Christian.
All right, so we're looking for a 6.
Yeah, looking for a 6.
Oh.
Christians.
All Christians. Some of you are particularly Christian.
Yeah,
okay.
cool.
So, before we start, if you can each add, see in religious virtues at the top there, you're just going to write in, and I'll copy this into chat so that you don't need to, honestly, I could just write in your sheets too, but whatever. Chaste, forgiving, merciful, modest, spiritual, and temperate. And these are the values that you as good Christian knights hold above others. Then, what we're going to do...
I really like that... after you, sorry.
No, you go, Jim.
I was going to say, I really like that just and arbitrary are set apart next to merciful and cruel. And I could actually imagine slight changes there because like just and cruel might seem kind of diametrically opposed, but it's actually a really neat pairing because it's, are you actually finding the just answer Or are you thinking, are you wrong about it? And then merciful or cruel, are you applying your correct or incorrect values consistently?
I really agree. I think arbitrarily merciful is an interesting combination. Like, you just grant mercy and kind of, it's that like, why can't we all just get along? Come on, guys, just stop. And you know, justly cruel is probably the like, well, you stole the chicken, so off with your head.
Whereas the other side might, you know, forgive, or the other way around, kind of going like, my arbitrary rules say that you doing some perceived slight warrants death.
Yep.
But I forgive you. Okay, thanks.
Right. So the method we're going to use for this is we're going to go straight down that line, and you're going to roll 2d6 plus 3 for each one. And then what you would do is then do the opposite of that to create 20 in the side next to it. So if you roll 2d6 plus 3 and you get a 7 for chaste, your lustful is 13. And I believe the sheet should just automatically do that for you. And then there will be some, basically just go through and do that, and then we'll make some small changes based on you being Christian. The only exception to that is for your last one. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. We can just add it, so it's fine. So if you just want to go down that line, there's going to be a lot of rolling. So I guess maybe we just do it one at a time so we don't lose track of who's going. Jackson, you opened us last time. Do you want to go through and roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
13.
6, 7, 8? Thank you.
2d6 plus 3. Here we go. Chaste, energetic, forgiving, generous, honest, just, merciful, modest,
Just looking for the extreme
prudent,
value.
spiritual,
Ooh.
temperate, trusting, and valorous. You add an extra 5.
Just do the 2d6 plus 3, and then we'll do the cleanup afterwards.
Alrighty. Yeah. And valorous. Done.
Okay.
I'm going to start typing those in, and everyone else should start rolling. Just so we don't lose any time.
Go to the next. James, do you want to go through and punch yours in?
For sure. Chaste, energetic, forgiving, generous, honest, just, merciful, modest, prudent, spiritual, temperate, trusting, valorous. I just heard
This
you go
sounds like a
on
cult.
them. I wasn't looking at the numbers.
I think it was your very first roll was a 14. Which is it's a 5 and 6. It's pretty close. We haven't gotten a max or a minimum.
I'm chaste.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Alex, all right, if you want to go, and you have to keep doing of chanting them as you go.
Okie dokie. So we've got chaste, energetic, forgiving, generous, honest, just, merciful, modest, prudent, spiritual, temperate, trusting, valorous.
She is not merciful. Holy shit.
I was not looking at them, so I don't know.
So that we have gotten our first double 1. That's so good.
Boy.
I'm hugely excited about that.
Also, I didn't appear to get through all of mine. A couple of them didn't.
Whack them on. Yeah. So they add up.
So just make sure I didn't miss any.
All right. It looks like they haven't.
Oh no, I just started counting from the wrong freaking area. My bad.
So Jackson, have you put all of yours in?
I have.
I might go. Looks like it hasn't on the auto calc. I thought it did. Whatever.
No, yeah, that's all good. Pretty average, I think, is fair to say. Not very spiritual, more valorous are my highest and lowest.
Interesting. It's also fun because like negatives do not suggest. It's just that it's on the other side, and there's kind of bad ones in that they aren't knightly or particularly Christian. But like your 6 in spiritual just means you're much more worldly. You know, steer towards the practical rather than the esoteric. True as well of what was your other particularly low ones. Oh, you get lower, you're a bit more selfish, a bit more arbitrary, not quite so just. This is kind of, it's going to paint a picture a little bit. So you will make a couple of adjustments. For each of your religious virtues, you'll add 3 to that and effectively reduce 3 on the other side. And for valorous, you'll add 5 to that and reduce the other side by 2. So your valorous in particular, that'll bring it up to 18. So you are not a coward. This is a man who does not bow down from a fight.
Oh.
So add 5 to Valorous and add 3 to Chaste, Forgiving,
Scroll up. I'm just going to put it in your religious
Merciful.
virtues.
Modest, Spiritual,
Okay.
and Temperate. All right, that's really helping me out.
I did particularly badly there. The addition, so it's +3 to each of our religious ones.
That's right.
And plus
Thank you,
5 to
sorry.
Valorous.
+5 to Valorous.
So have you
Okay.
have you applied yours, Jim, or are you doing them?
Let's even me out a little bit. I'm
I'm
still
applying
not
them now. I'm
particularly
applying them now.
We'll go and have a look at. We'll go and have a look at Alex's one.
I have not applied the other side,
Okay.
but I've done all the pluses.
Oh yeah. So you are very chaste, Sir Alex.
I am very chaste.
You are also,
Apparently.
and still fairly
Pretty-
cruel, which is exciting.
Pretty cruel.
Chaste,
Pretty cruel.
chaste and cruel it's just funny,
Funny, isn't it?
like combinations. And again, once again,
Usually honest or just either.
look, you know, you don't have
Not
to
exactly
be.
trusting. Not particularly spiritual or prudent.
But you are
Fair.
like Sir Jackson, not one to back down from a fight.
It's gonna go real well.
Which is, and he's got the numbers to back it up, and you don't as much. But hey, get out there and have fun.
Give it a go.
That's it. I'll nip back to Jim's one. Let's have a look at his.
Almost done. Just putting in the last few. I got a couple of fairly
Oh,
extensive
you do have
ones, I
some
think.
quite big call. Wow, another 18 Valorous. You guys rolled really well for Valor, which is a.
And then I also have 2 17s in Merciful and Temperate.
Yeah. I guess you
Nice.
do add 5 to it at the end, so it makes sense that it's high. But still big numbers. Yeah. Sorry. So what you're saying? You have a 14 in Chase is notable. Basically 15 and up is where you get like remarkable ones. 15 and then 20 is the next one for being. They've got terms. It's like exemplary or something. 15 is. It would be a subject of song about you. Is kind of how I say
I'm
it.
very modest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm already got Forgiving at 15.
There you go. He's very
Just
forgiving.
here to have a good time.
It's all good, So and for Jim, he's got on that Merciful, which is exciting, especially because so Alex is a not,
Completely
and
not.
modest as well. So not one to draw attention.
And Temperate. I have
Temperate.
3 religious virtues at plus
Okay,
16.
now it's coming
do.
together. You
Wow.
could very
You are
much
religious.
consider tying yourself down that sort of pastoral, liturgical path. That may be where your family has its history, or just it's something that you hold very dear. Okay, so everyone did the plus values for their virtues and the plus values for Valorous. We will continue on to the next one. So
Damn, dude.
these, that was your traits. The next part
Passions?
is your passions. That's right. Passions are intense beliefs that provide short inspiration, boosting a single. They can like boost a skill for a little weird period. See them read something. Over 15 is noteworthy and kind of compels you to act towards it. So if you have it, you kind of assumes you're just gonna do that thing, like if your love of family is over 15 and the frickin' Saxons are back and they're raiding your village, you're probably gonna go back and help them out, even if that would be a negative to the current adventure or your reputation or whatever. That's just what you hold dear. That's how you define yourselves. So they're grouped into a number of ports. That's not represented on this sheet, but they are Fidelitas, Fervor, Adoratio, and Civilitas. And within each of these, you'll have very common ones. And as knights under this sort of branch, you will begin with several. Which I could have pre-filled in, but didn't, so we're going to write them in now. So, you are each going to begin with Homage Lord. So, I'll write these into the chat, and you can just copy them in. So, it's going to be Homage Lord. You all have Love Family. Wait, is that right? Oh, yeah, I just got confused. You all have Hospitality. You have Station. You have Devotion. Deity, which I'm very excited for Jim's to be really low. And you all, because you are from Salisbury in our setting, you also all have hate Saxons. Those
damn Saxons.
And these would vary based on your background and what kind of knight you are. So quick call out is like mercenary knights would have fealty rather than homage, because they are just, it's a paid thing. It's a different kind of arrangement. So if you want to each add those into your passions, we're going to roll them, and then you'll get an opportunity. You will roll some sort of like blanket points, just spend, and assign where you wish. So if it's not quite turning into the story you imagine, like for example, Jamie gets really low devotion deity and does decide he thinks he's going to go down that like quite religious path, you can spend those points to bump that up a little bit. You can also...
Is honor also a passion, or is that...
Yes, it is. Sorry, I just missed it. Honor should have been first.
Gotcha.
Whoop.
So honor lord and homage lord.
Just honor. Just honor without the
just
lord.
Honor?
Just honor.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep, thank you. These will be random. We'll do the rolls first, and then I'll talk a little bit about it. So, for honor and homage lord, you're going to roll 2d6 plus 8 for each of those. We might just do these we might just do those first, because there's a couple different values, so it could get confusing. So, Jackson, if you want to do 2d6 plus 8
Alright,
twice.
I did too. I already did it.
Never mind, Alex wins.
I got it in there.
Alex first.
All good?
And I rolled really high. Sorry.
Yeah, you did. Nice. So you have 14 honor, Alex, and 16 homage lord. Homage? I would say homage, right? It's
from the French word, which is man. So homage would be the like fromage.
Also,
I shall.
Homage. I'll be saying it as homage, just so you know.
Well, I'm utterly distressed that they've used the American spelling of honor without the U, so I'm fixing that in my character sheet.
Yeah.
Put a U in there,
Yeah,
people.
I thought that was a little weird.
I think that's just the standard for writing in the US English.
I was questioning myself. I'm like, I'm sure yes.
So Alex, you're then going to roll 2d6 plus 3 times, and this is going to be love of family, hospitality, and station.
Bam. Hospo. Station.
Okay, not a big hospo. If you come to my
which
house,
tracks, honestly.
you're getting bread, and then you're getting the fuck out.
You know what? That tracks.
And then you're going to roll 1d6 plus 2 for twice. You're going to roll that for devotion deity and hate Saxons.
Devotion. Mid.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not driven by hate. I just enjoy being mean to people.
Yeah, that's it. All right, if you want to nip through and start adding those to your sheet.
We're there.
Oh, you've done it. Awesome. That's very quick. We'll go, Jackson, do you want to go through yours next? So it's going to be 2d6 plus 8 twice. This is honor and homage. Oh, he's honorable.
Honorable.
And
okay.
he doesn't mind his lord. Then you roll 2d6 plus 3, and you're going to do that 3 times. That's love of family, hospitality, and station. Yeah, sort of in the middle. All good. And then 1d6 plus 2, and you can do that twice. And this is devotion to your deity and your hatred of Saxons.
1d6 plus 2. Gotcha. What's station again? Did you explain this and I wasn't listening?
Nope.
It's like I could think of your rank, where your station in society. Like you are a noble.
Yeah, it's like where the train goes.
Okay, devotion deity. Oh, nice.
Here we go,
And
station.
finally, 1d6 plus 2 for hate Saxons.
Saxon. 5.
Oh, they're not so bad.
God's better, that's what I'll tell you. All right, Jim, if you can do 2d6 plus 8, and you're going to do that twice.
Okay, first one up for honor, right?
Yes.
13 for honor, and then homage lord, 13 as well.
Nice, and then 2d6 plus 3, and that's 3 times. That's for love of family, hospitality, and station. Let's have a physical book, so I don't need to be scrolling through the PDF.
36 plus 3. Okay, coming up. So for my love of family, 9.
Take them or leave
For
them.
my hospitality, 10. For my station, 7. For my devotion deity.
These are 1d6 plus 2.
10.
I don't know, 1d6
Oh, sorry,
plus
my
2
bad.
for these two. So, and do it twice.
Disregard the 10.
Yeah, so it's going to be devotion
1d6
deity
plus
and hate
1d6 plus
Saxon.
2, you said.
Yeah, that's right.
Devotion deity is 4. And hate Saxons is 4.
Okay, perfect. All right, if everyone wants to go through and fill those in, and then once they're done, you will each roll 4d6 plus 1, and from that pool, spend them wherever you wish within those passions. Not wherever you wish, spend them within the passions. You can create new passions at this point. So if you have something you'd like to be important to you, you could include it. I'm very happy for you to just sit on points, like store them and just say, I will come back to these if something, sparks joy. And we can, dole them out then. But this is also a chance for, Jim, if you want to raise that deity up really high, you can do so. If you want the love of family to be important, so on and so on and so on. But yeah, you can feel free to flex these. So I just wanted to quickly go through and look at some of the passions and just see what they, how they written in the book.
Oh man.
Oh wow, Jim's got a huge pool. Wow, Alex, you are just consistent.
I'm rolling like trash.
Jackson
Jackson
has
is
huge
passionate.
numbers this game.
Unbelievable.
I am going to spend some time looking over all the passions and seeing
you
what
might
would be
need to.
hilarious.
Whereas
Jim and I can't
23
afford
points
to.
into.
You might cannot afford to, but you absolutely can.
Hate Sir Hansel.
You really, Sir Hansel's actually so funny.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go on to skills next. But before we do that, I'm just gonna talk a bit about some of these passions, and by talk about, I mean look at the book and read sections from it. So going down them, well, not quite going down them because I'm on the page for homage, not honor. So homage talks about being the highest type of loyalty. It's you swearing your service to a lord and the member of their household. You do a public oath to earn it, and it's basically saying like, I'm yours, I'm your boy forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Interestingly, technically you guys aren't knights just yet. This is you doing it in your squirely capacity. And they're actually like, we will have you like swear that oath as knights shortly after. But I guess it's like showing this is like your priority and this is something you're passionate about, so to say. Other ones we had, we spoke about. There's also in that same value, there's you could take loyalty companions or loyalty to the king. Maybe don't take loyalty king because that's going to change pretty soon. But loyalty companions could be like, I love my guys. These guys kick ass. Let's go and do adventures together. So in passions of fervor, we've got hate a person or group. I think that's pretty clear what that is. Those guys suck. I'll add this to me when I want to fight them. Love of family is about the people around you. It's noted it's not a love of an individual person. It's like your clique. So it's at the time it would probably be siblings and mother, father, maybe some aunts, uncles, cousins, that sort of thing. You can have a love of a specific person. This would be interesting. So if you have someone that you're really interested in. The reason I'm pausing is because right after it, there's adoration, beloved, which I think is like, it's mostly for the later on, like, romance periods. And it's got a bunch of, like, specific requirements. I don't think you'd have that. I think take love person. I think the adoration is a kind of a separate thing. And then devotion to your deity. So a measure of your belief or faith in a supernatural being or group of beings. Crusading in the Holy Land could be an example of championing the religion. Yeah, go and do that for a bit. In hospitality, cornerstones of feudal life, so everyone kind of has it. It's about offering food, lodgings, and safety to visitors without expecting recompense. And interesting, no matter your station, your house is sacrosanct, protected by whatever powers that watch over humanity. So even for your hovel or castle. So even the random person in one of those funny leather caps on the side of the road will have some hospitality. They just invoke it differently and they have less to give. So station, the one that we started this search for, is about social classes and the obligations of nobles to care for their social inferiors. The king is the highest station, and then it descends down through sort of knights, esquires, clergy have their own different hierarchy thing. It's for a commoner, it would be if they don't act in their station, that might cause you to like roll against it to, demand that they do. Someone like, being sarcastic around their betters. But it's also going to be about like you as a knight. It is of your station to protect these commoners. They are smelly and bad at it, so you need to go out there and fight the bear, as befits your station. Last one was honor. I'll try and nip back, and it was probably right at the top of this.
I believe we can't spend our freebie points on honor because it's like
Yeah.
I think of it. I'm going to run everything past Cthulhu because that's something I think via a lot. It's a bit more like Cthulhu mythos in that it's a skill or credit rating.
No,
skill with.
So it is. It is a bit special, but it is another passion. You can spend them here. I can't say anything that suggests you can't. The cap of spending now at this point in the game is 15. You can't raise another 15. So. That's going to be your upper limit. Okay, here we go. An unsung passion is between 1 and 4. A normal passion is between 5 and 15. A famous passion has a value between 16 and 20. And exalted is 20, above 20. Oh, interesting. So unless you rolled one just then, which when I was doing a trial character yesterday, I did. Not to brag. You won't be able to get a famous passion just now.
I did. My homage lord was 16.
Did you? Okay.
Once we had the pluses in there,
you are famously homageous.
Yeah.
That's a technical term.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have not added my pluses. I've been missing a lot of the little bits here. What are the plus? The
no,
pluses
you
to?
did it. No, you did it.
No,
It was a
did.
plus 8 and
Oh,
stuff.
they were
It's part of the roll.
Sorry, my
That's
bad.
part of the role. So yeah, my lord is, given the rest of my personality traits, my lord is probably a bit of a dick, let's be honest.
Well, yeah. It also
Honestly,
could be
I
a
can't
bit of
imagine.
yours could be, as we begin to get a sense for these characters. So the idea is that each of you are, your family are established knights, and you are standing to inherit that. Alex, yours could be a bit more of like a you were raised up. Given you have some of the lower roles, but your like loyalty to the Lord is so close, you could be tied to. You could be like maybe they took a bit of a risk in doing so, or you just have a personal relationship with them. Would be interesting. So I'll talk about that.
My physical stats, I don't know why anyone would bother.
Well, childhood friends or something. Like,
just saying.
Oh, actually, I'll talk about that a little bit now then,
Yeah.
because this may begin to let us find.
Looking at the points for where to put points in passions, I'm just not really sure.
It did say to look at aspirations to see what you want to work towards.
Yeah. The aspirations are like end game goals for knights. You can be knights of particular styles. So, hey, I found honor. Where's the list? So yeah, like you're having high honor, gaining glory. Here they are. So they're the ideals. Sorry, is the term for particular knights. You can be a chivalrous knight. You can be a religious knight. You can be a romantic knight. And then there's also Knight of the Round Table, which has even more specific things. And when you follow these, you get extra benefits. You'll gain like bonuses, but they are very clear criteria. You need to have fulfilled all of these things. So as an example, and I can share these so that you are free to basically like kind of like meta announce this is something that you're working towards. If you were to be a religious knight, you would need at least 16 in all virtuous traits of your religion. So you guys are all Christians. That would be chaste, forgiving, merciful, modest, spiritual, and temperate. So like you are remarkably so. Yeah. These are not going to be things you're going to start off with. It's basically impossible. technically is possible, I think, under rolling. You would also need devotion deity at 16 and your religion skill at least 10. But in doing so, you would gain some extra hit points. You can invoke your passion in defense of your deity. You gain extra glory, and you're protected from magic and miracles. Cool as hell.
Wow. We're protected from miracles because we are faithful.
Yeah. I guess it's if someone... Miracles are like a spell, kind of.
Bad.
So I guess they, if they try and
Pagan
firebolt
miracles, those
you...
things
Yeah, bastards. If anyone's interested in being a chivalrous knight, you need... what does it say? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you see, you need like a high average. So you would need at least 96 points among the following traits. Energetic, generous, just, merciful, modest, valorous. I guess kind of like if anyone thinks they're going, like, you're free to look in the book, but I can share them as well. And you need at least chivalry of 15, station of 10, and hospitality of 10. And last one is romantic knight. You need to have, here we go, 90 points across chaste, generous, honest, modest, spiritual, and temperate. Interesting you need chaste. I guess you're romantic. You're very... It's of the marriage and everything. And this one you would need adoration beloved. So you would need to go down that, like, really deep love. You need to find someone to basically
you need to have that
swear
someone
yourself
special.
to. Yeah. We'll share those, and you can see if you want to work to them. I was also seeing, I think, like, technically, like, the chivalrous stuff, it's kind of, like, it gets promoted by King Arthur during his reign, which technically hasn't started yet, but, like, I think you as a knight could still be, you have independently, on your own land, started to think these are good ideas. And hey, this guy comes around, and wouldn't you know, he's speaking my language. Alright, so we're going to go to skills next, but before we do, I want to sidestep ever so slightly and talk a bit about the setting of the scenario we're playing, because I think that's going to start to affect, like, we're seeing the characters now, we've got some words around them. We'll do names and family and stuff. If you ever start to think of those, we can do them, but for a bit of context, so you are all going to be squires right on the verge of knighthood, scions of a line of vassal knights of Salisbury. And you've served your noble house long and well, or your family has at least. Your region, Salisbury, is run by Countess Ellen, the Dowager Countess. So she is in charge of it until her son Robert becomes of age, and he is squiring alongside you. So what's interesting about this, like, for you, Alex, your homage lord, is that you have a particularly high one, and it's a person who is kind of a peer at this time. So why I wanted to talk about this in particular is you may have a, like, deeper relationship with him. It may be love. It may be just very close friendship. So if you want to take another passion, you could take one that is particular to him. Or you could just have a think about that, like, as you begin to develop your character. Because I think it's kind of interesting. You're each gonna be squired to knights. We might do that later. Kind of going back and forth a little bit here. Basically, if you ever want any more context on things, just ask and I can provide it. Otherwise, we'll keep going through and keep seeing what the numbers say, I suppose. All right. So we'll nip across to skills. So these all have beginning values, which we're going to need to write in. Get your pencils ready. So if you navigate to the skills tab, you have a bunch of stuff written there. Some of them aren't going to get values because they're, like, niche ones, like chirurgery is going to get skipped. I think it's basically like surgery. It's way more than first aid, and it's not considered knightly. So one simply wouldn't. I'm going to call them out, and if you guys can just each independently jot them in. So, your awareness begins at 5. Your compose begins at 5. Your courtesy begins at your appearance minus 5.
Fuck me. So 5.
Yeah. So, that's good. Jesus. We might nip through and do all the ones that are that, actually, then. Fashion is also appearance minus 5. Flirting and folklore are appearance minus 5. Intrigue is appearance minus 5. And orate is appearance -5.
Appeal.
Appeal,
Appeal.
sorry, yes.
It's
That's
making more sense.
all coming together. Yes, it's your appeal. Unappealing.
I'm just not an
Person.
appealing person, guys.
Just an
So what was the
unappealing.
first one of those? Fashion, flirting, orate, and then
Courtesy was the very first one.
thank you.
So it should be courtesy, fashion, flirting, folklore, intrigue, and orate.
Okay.
They're
good.
all appeal -5.
That's right. Okay. We're gonna do now. It's gonna be your dexterity halved, and you're gonna round up.
Up.
So if you have 11, it's 6. So dancing is half dex. First aid is half dex.
Sorry, guys.
Play instrument is half dex. And here's where it really slows down for Alex. Every weapon skill but brawling is half dex. And horsemanship.
When you
Oh,
say
dear.
weapon skill,
So
So
all of
them
those
except-
combat skills. Actually, sorry, not
Oh.
battle. Battle is not, and
Right.
horsemanship is actually, but battle is a combat skill, not a weapon skill. It's pretty close.
gotcha.
So
So,
yeah,
weapon skills are bow, charge,
charge.
Crossbow, half-dead,
Crossbow.
All of those.
Half-dead.
So all of them,
Half-dead.
but brawling and battle do half dex.
6.
and horsemanship.
No, horsemanship is not a weapon skill, but it is half dex, so it
Gotcha.
still goes in. Then so while we're in that section, battle is just 5, and your brawling is half your strength.
Oh, good.
Round it up.
Round it up.
Round it up, always round it
So
up.
4.
Hey, don't get into any fights. Maybe you're
Yeah,
a
I'm not getting
peaceful
into any
knight.
fights, guys. Apparently not.
Okay, we're gonna go backwards and basically put 5s in everything else with a couple of exceptions. Leave chirurgery at 0, and leave literacy at 0. All the other ones get to 5.
Falconry,
Hunting.
gaming,
Gaming.
hunting, recognize,
Recognize.
religion, singing, stewardship, all to 5. Done.
Perfect. All of the appearance ones you cannot raise above your appearance in the following
Deal.
spend. It's all basically what you just took 5 away. Don't put more than 5 in it. I can share this sheet so you'll be able to see which ones they are.
Yes, I'm
as
not
we get
sure
into
which
it.
ones the appeal
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, sorry,
Because
appeal.
all of mine
appeal,
are 5
appeal.
or 6, so you know.
So do I have it in this tables?
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to spend all those passion points on, which I just don't know.
Yeah, and you're welcome to sit on them for a moment. Okay, so for being Cumric again, you will gain +3 to charge, horsemanship, and courtesy. That's just what your dudes are all about.
Charge. Sorry,
Oh yeah, thank you, Jackson.
thank God.
Charge, horsemanship, and courtesy, +3 from being Cumric.
To each of those, and then we are going to just spend a bunch of points. So you're going
Sorry,
to
what was the other
have
one? Charge, courtesy,
horsemanship.
horsemanship.
You guys love a horse.
Me too.
So, you have. Where's the number? 10 points. So you're going to distribute 10 points across your skills. You cannot raise a skill above 15. And
Okay.
you can't raise one of the skills. Alex, you got that in mind? None above 15?
Yeah, I can't remember that one.
And you can't raise any of the skills that start at 0. So that would be literacy and chirurgery, whatever.
Can't raise literacy.
No. So, but there's one more thing. Everyone needs to roll a d20 because this is your family characteristic. This is the thing that you've sort of inherited, that your family line carries. So, Alex, on a 16, your family is musical. You've gotten play instrument with +3.
Hey, there we go.
For Jackson, you've got an 18.
18.
You're melodic. You sing. Jim, give us a reroll. Let's avoid. We'll do
Sure.
duplicates.
Yeah.
What are the chances of a duplicate?
Huh.
20.
Oh, Jimmy, you're gifted. Roll twice. I
Hey!
was genuinely sure Jackson was gonna get that.
Right?
That's funny. Okay, first roll of the gifted is 19. Second roll is 2.
Okay, Jim, your
Wow.
family is martial. You have +3 to battle, and you are clodhoppers. You have +3 to stewardship.
Cool.
And now there actually is a place for this information on your sheet. So in your, sorry, I'm just clicking around on Alex's sheet. I don't see it on this one. It's on the other ones. Basically, it's your family's thing. Maybe it's included in notes or something. Just kind of have it somewhere. Because basically, if you have kids, they'll get the same ones. So it will, stick around. So just record what those were.
So Alex's character has got play instrument. I got singing.
I'm
You're in
very
band.
bad, buddy.
Traveling minstrels. Okay.
Toot, motherfuckers.
All right, so you each have those 10 points to spend. And then we just need to go back and slap some names and parentage on you. And then we're almost done with you being squires. Well, sorry, then we're done with you being squires. We just need to get you up to knight ready.
Yes. I love having some of the real low ones, so I'm trying not to put too much in.
Yep. Love to have a weakness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're all kind of weaknesses, but so 10 points, and what then? We don't want to get them above.
Not above 15 or above your appeal. Got it. Almost.
Is
worth
appeal? Okay, so I can really only put one in instrument then, because that's an appeal.
Is it?
It is, isn't it?
Except for bonuses from cultural skills. Okay, so that one's actually +3 more than that. So you can factor that in. You've got a little bit of extra.
Because I've got a bit, I may as well just be really good at it.
Play instrument was a dexterity one. It wasn't an appeal one. I think.
Oh, good.
Yes, you're right. It's a dex, so I can go as high as you want.
Dump some in there.
As you're putting points in, there are requirements for being a knight. So you will have to tick some boxes to qualify.
Right.
So
well, I might wait to find out about those. Otherwise, you girls getting left behind.
So we have extra. There's you'll still get some more points to spend. You've got quite a few points to spend, so you should be able to get to these limits. If not, that's fine. We'll probably just have you be an older squire, so you spent more time going through it until you hit the criteria. So you need to have a 10 in sword, charge, and brawling.
Well, that's 3 of mine. 4 of mine.
Sword, charge, and brawling. And any 2 non-weapon knight skills. So I'll get that list of knightly skills, but apparently horsemanship and courtesy are common. Horsemanship's worth flagging. While you are on horseback, you are effectively capped. Your skills can't be higher than your horsemanship, and you will be on horse a lot. So you kind of want that to be a bit high up, or else your sword or lance or whatever is getting capped by that horse value, because you just don't know what that thing's doing. Yes, thank you, Jackson. Is that the... Oh, yes, you got the knightly skills. Oh, you're very good. Well, I'll read those out now. So the requirements for knightly skills, the ones that you may choose, are awareness, battle, brawling, charge, courtesy, first aid, horsemanship, hunting, recognize, and any weapon skill. Although for this requirement, they need to be non-weapon skills to meet this criteria.
And we've got 10
and they have to be
now.
You have 10 right now, that's right.
And they have to, and those have to be, which ones have to be 10, was it?
Sword, charge, and brawling.
And 2 more.
And then any 2
knightly skills.
And it suggests horsemanship and courtesy are common, but you could be a non-common one, so you could take awareness. I love brawling as a knightly skill. Just kicking the hell out of people in a pub.
Sword, charge, and brawling have to be 10.
Yes, that's right.
Well, shit.
You must defend your knight. Yeah, that might might be a few.
Yes, I get charge up there.
You don't need to hit the criteria on this one. So what we have done at this point is we have progressed your character to 14. They are no longer a page. Now, then we will go through a period of them squiring, where you will assign more points. But it's just kind of like, this is what you come into the... So, like, if you go in with, like, you're a ways off being a knight when you get to this, just in like the narrative of it, they've had to train you up. They've like, all right, you need to rerunning drills. Jackson,
I can be a knight now.
can you be a knight?
Shut
Do you want to be?
I made it.
Shut up.
Yep. I'm just that good.
Well, Jackson, do you want to start working towards being a chivalrous, religious, or romantic knight then? Because you've got more points to work on.
Oh no.
This
No,
guy.
This is the problem with being a gifted child is you got to like set your entire life plan out now.
No
You're
child
14.
left behind.
When you're 14, you're expected to just know what the
Yeah.
rest of. Yeah, okay. Yeah, enjoy that.
Alex is playing the child left behind.
I am playing the child left behind today. So, okay. I'm just working out how far behind I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I just
So
like the idea of horsemanship as a cap and then my horsemanship. But it doesn't matter because I'm never going to get anything else that high.
you will get points. So generally, Alex, if you wanted to like, in the narrative, your character could have come into being a page late or having you could have been just a kind of bit more of a regular person. So your instrument could be quite high as you go into this, and then in the following point distribution, you're going to need to like as quickly as possible raise those other ones up. For context, you're going to get at most to hit knighthood at 21 another 35 points for skills. But if they don't need to go into skills, you can spend them elsewhere. So you should be able to get to that, I expect.
Oh my goodness. I just noticed not only have I made it to like eligible knighthood at 14, I've got the 2 skill points to spend. And it also says it's a good idea to have high honor and valorous values as well.
Yeah, how are you for those?
17 and 18.
Both famous.
17 and 18.
Jason is like,
So no pressure, but I might have already won the game.
when
I don't
Arthur
know.
turns up on the scene, they're going to be like, I mean, we could, but like, have you seen
Why would
this
we?
guy? Check out Sir Jackson. This dude kicks ass. Awesome. So, as you guys are thinking about that, we're going to kind of roll backwards a little bit and figure out your. We'll do like names are flexible. You can change your names as you go, but I'll kind of talk a bit about where they come from, like what names you might have, and we'll also generate your parents' glory. So this is the parent that you inherit your glory from, and sort of sets your career. Yeah, Jim.
Based on parentage, so I've had an idea in the back of my head that I'd love to hit you with now that we're starting to generate some parentage stuff. I was loosely thinking that it'd be very cool to play a bastard. I know that we are inheritors. So my idea was I was the illegitimate child of a knight, handed over to the church because they didn't want anything of me and I was a bastard. And then that knight was pierced upon the loins or something like that. So they yanked me out of the church because they need a blood descendant.
So good.
And quickly legitimized me, but as a result, I got like my first X years raised as like a church ward. So that's the justification for a lot of the sort of like behaviors I have that are religiously inclined.
I love that.
And also, I wanted to take my unappealing traits as being amongst knights because I figure I'm a little like I had vulgar in that I was not knightly because I was raised like as amongst the common folk kind of thing. But
I love that. I think that's really good. Yeah. Also, the original eldest son may have been murked. Like, there's that works really well. So the suggestion of this one is you are each like going to become Land Knights and everything. In my preparation and looking at it, I think we can very easily. In fact, it actively encourages you to adjust everything. So if you have alternate pitches like Jamie's, absolutely send it through. You kind of be a knight. The rest of it is up to you. So if you don't want to be landed, if you want to have been lifted up, or some other thing, you could do so. Like this. You can already kind of see, like, if Jim's coming as, like, his character's a bastard raised up, and Jackson does kind of have a bit of, like, golden boy status, then Alex, if you're also maybe going down a non-standard knight path, like just being really close with the Lord. And
I think I'm just suspiciously close with the Lord and nobody really knows why.
Yeah.
And they were roommates.
Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all those passion things into hospitality, love. Love, family, and hospitality is basically where I've chucked them.
Okay.
So love, family, and I think that's going to be my Lord.
Oh, do you think you're
maybe
family with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like not close family. Maybe I don't have a lot of close family. I'm like a second cousin twice removed, but fuck it, that's what I've got.
I like it a lot. I think
And I'm bumping hospitality as well because the way I've read that is that it can be kind of used in an almost underhanded, like not underhanded, but like it goes both ways, guys.
if
You know,
if
I'm
you're
obsessed with the idea of this hospitality, family, and homage to my lord, and I think homage to my lord and family can be really closely tied.
I really
now.
like that. If you're going down the path of like, yeah, cousin from like thrown
Yeah.
upon their hospitality, and you're kind of gaming them a little bit to like they need to support you, they need to let you go through. Yeah,
They look real bad if they don't, guys.
what's worth it with 15 in what is your homage lord at
16.
16?
Yeah,
that is
I rolled
high.
16 for that, so
That is high enough that I would, like, if you act against your lord, that would be quite out of character. So, like, you are ultimately loyal to Robert once he
I'm loyal to them
inherits.
because it works with me.
Yeah. What about possibly just instead of love family? I could see one where you've kind of turned your back on your family a bit and you've thrown your lot in with your cousins and, like, the lord. So, like, kind of letting that one.
There's a lot of civil conflict happening, right? Like your family could
on the other side of something, yeah. Because if you keep it as love family, that would be you more referring to like your mother and father and siblings you've left behind a bit.
Do they have to be alive?
Well, in theory, you're standing to inherit. You could also not be, well, or they could have. The wrong side of the conflict would be fun. It could be that you've, or the idea is, I think in the current time, the Saxons have come through and like taken a number of the areas. They could be in like Saxon-controlled territory, and the intention
and I don't
is.
really hate the Saxons that much. Like,
Yeah,
my
okay.
Saxon hate's pretty low.
Well,
it could be a trait between you and Robert that you're both waiting to inherit, right? Like,
yeah, but then I don't know how loyal to him I'd be. I
Because
think if my lord is my family, and that's probably why they can't kick this little shit out.
The other path we could go down is you could be more closely related. You could be a younger sibling to Robert. You could not be going to inherit, but you could be being trained up as kind of like the second choice in case things go wrong. I'd be fine with that. It definitely puts you in a pretty relevant point. Or you could be a I'd need to check it with the lore and make sure it doesn't step on anything, but it could be like a step sibling or a like something along the lines.
Second marriage sibling.
Yeah. I don't because his father is dead. He died in war. And his mother but you're also the same age as Robert, so you'd have to have been a bastard if you were siblings.
Like maybe if I'm like a third or fourth cousin.
Okay.
And I really love my family, but my homage is mainly to my lord, and I've kind of pulled away from my family at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I think that works.
There's enough of a crossover there, and I'm really into hospitality and.
Yeah, I really like that, and because it's what you've basically survived on, is the hospitality to a bit. All right, so as people are kind of moving through the skill points, whether you've finished them or otherwise, you can just kind of hold on to them. We will go to. I just want to talk a bit about the your families. So it assumes you guys were each born in. It had the date here somewhere. Oh wait, no, I've got it on my sheet that I did. 487. But we can adjust that slightly if your character needs to spend more time being a squire. You can be a little bit older or younger. And your family, it goes backwards. They were in like 462 or something. And we're going to roll out a couple of events that one of your parents went through. And this is the one that was a knight and that you have, inherited through. So the assumed would be, I guess, the assumption would be father, and it's, the default knight would be a dude. Pendragon's very clear on it, and I'm fully in support of it. If you want to play a female knight, that is totally fine. And there's actually, in the opening scenario, the leader, the person training you, is a woman knight and is very, very cool. So if anyone wants to go down that path, you absolutely can.
Yeah, I will.
Hell yeah. We love to see it. So let's do... I think we'll do the family history. I think that makes sense. So everyone's going to roll 2d6 times 100 plus 2,000. So 2,000 plus 2d6 times 100. And this is your family's... this is the glory that they have. This is not going to be yours completely. There's going to be a portion of it. And so I can't tell you...
Run that one by me again.
Yeah. So
2d6 times
100 plus
times
2,000 in parentheses.
plus
So
2,000.
it's the... Yeah. If you just do
2d6 times 100 and then add
plus
2,000.
That's right. So 2,000 and then change. If you just want to do
So 2d6, 7.
I'm just gonna roll
700.
2d6, then I'm gonna
So you
multiply
have
by
2,000.
100.
Yeah, that's right. So Jackson, you have 2,700 for your starting point.
2,700 family glory? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, maybe just write it in a notepad for the moment because it's going to go on the sheet in... Jim, you're 2,400. That's way easier if we just read it out this way.
Sorry, I already did the
Alex,
whole thing.
Oh, nice.
Oh!
It broke something
Oh, it
in
didn't-
there,
it
I
didn't
think.
add
Oh, it broke
2,000.
something. It didn't
Oh,
add it. My
but
brackets
you
didn't
Didn't
add.
add 2,000.
It's 2,900.
But still.
You do have the most glory currently. Okay, so...
I'm glory. Maybe that explains why I give a shit about my family and my lord.
Maybe. So this is the glory that they had when they were made a knight and when they were married, presumably, because then they have you not too long after. This is their starting glory. So what you are going to now add to that is... read the whole thing. It's 500 plus 3d6 times 100. Just do 3d6. We'll multiply that by 100 and add 500. And we're going to add that to the first value. Except it needs to be separate because based on this one, you roll some events.
So 3d6 times 100?
Yeah.
3
We know that times works.
6
Yeah.
Oh, come on. No.
times 100. And then
Yeah.
add 500
And add 500. Yeah, that's right.
for 2,000.
Wow,
Sorry, what
you're-
was this? This was
This
this
is
was when
uh,
the parent became a knight.
So
Knights.
what this
Parents-
is this is since you were born in your 14 years, they have gone on to earn this much glory. So this is what they've done. So Jackson, for your example, yours, earned a modest amount of glory. They had you and got right back on the battlefield.
Mine,
Jim,
not so much.
yeah, they peaked early. They killed it then. Jim's also pretty good. So all right, so you are going to just add this value to the earlier value, but first, for every 500 points in this one, we're going to roll on the table of heroic events. So it's every 500 you get, they did a thing. This is not a round up one, it's for each 500. So for Alex, that's
Gotcha.
going to be 2 events. For Jackson, it's going to be 4 events. For Jim, it's going to be 3 events. So 2 for Alex, 3 for Jim, 4 for Jackson. Which is pretty much how this has gone the whole character creation section so far.
really is.
So we're consistent.
What size is this table?
It's going to be a d6, then some other stuff. I think I've got this one in the game, so I think we can just roll on it. Let me see if it's here. Table. Yeah, here we go. It's set as rollable. If you go into, just roll a d6. It'll be easier, I think. All right, so
D6.
Jackson.
I get 4 rolls.
Yes, you do. So roll them one at a
Outstanding.
time because we'll have modify. Like they have like subtotals. So.
Oh, one at a time. Sorry, my first one was a 3.
Yeah. So for your first one, actually, sorry. Roll all 4. Roll all 4. I
Roll all
think will
4?
Work.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think.
3.
Okay, that works. For your third one, so in 495, they were at the Battle of St. Albans.
Nice.
For your, I'll do them in the order. So 4.
And
for,
then 6.
I'll
Six is
do
my
them
second
in.
one.
Yeah, it's in order of them happening. So the 4,
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
just
go for it.
So for 4,
I
can you
understand.
roll another d6, please?
All right, another D6 coming up. 5.
Okay, so in 593,
593.
they defeated a Saxon chieftain.
Nice.
And gain a rune-scribed Saxon sword and an enemy in the chieftain's son. Oh, congratulations, you have an enemy. So you could take a passion
Fantastic.
in hate that particular guy if you felt like it. Or maybe they just have one in you. Well, actually, it's more for your dad or mum. All right, that was for 4. For 5, can you roll another d6, please?
Another D6 coming up. 1.
Oh, very good. Hey, you went on various quests for Merlin through the years, and thus is known to the Archdruid. So your lineage is known to Merlin. Yeah.
I feel like you were like a backup Arthur.
I think Arthur was the backup you. They're like, oh shit, they just lost track of you, and then they're like, oh, easy, just pull the sword, kid. All right, and for 6, can you roll another d6?
I love this. My dad knows Merlin. Another 6.
Oh my god, this has to do some... Oh, okay. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
this
what's
one's
the
kind of
doubles?
negative. So, between 506 and 507...
6. 6
you-
and 6.
Yeah. No, sorry, this is the year that it happened. Between 506 and 507, in the Battle of Summerland, you became a hero. This is your lineage, but the Cornishmen remember him with hate. His children inherit this baggage. Congratulations.
Oh,
the
the
Cornishmen
Cornish don't like
really
me.
hate you.
So just
But hold
confirming,
on.
just the year it happened, is it 606 and 607? Because there's events happening at 590 and 50.
Oh, yeah. What was
Where
the
did I get
Wait,
up
no.
that?
chieftain?
Oh, that 90 is definitely wrong. That was me doing math wrong. 593. Sorry, yes, that should be 503. Sorry for the Saxon
503.
chieftain.
Gotcha.
Excellent.
Got it. All right.
So
Fantastic.
you could consider if you want the rune-scribed Saxon chieftain. Actually, you know what? Later on, we get an opportunity when you become a knight to inherit a family heirloom, and we could, that would make sense to possibly be the thing that you get, which would be kind of cool. All right. So, Jackson, just to tie yours in a knot, all of then that total glory you will divide by 4. I'm just gonna double check this. Where is it? Sorry. They inherit a portion. Yes, 1/4 of the parent's glory. So you get a quarter of that glory, and that is your beginning glory, inherited from your family.
So 4,700 divided by 4.
Yep. And you can
1175.
perfect, and that is your starting glory. And the idea is that you can kind of come up with names for your other family. This is probably the most important or most relevant one. So once you come up with a character name, we'll probably also get you to name this character too, because they are who you stand to inherit from, and who currently is, king of that particular castle. All right, going back up. Let's do Jim. Jim, if you're rolling 3 times on this table, and we'll re-roll duplicate. Oh, we'll sort of re-roll duplicate. Some of the battles can happen multiple times.
Do I need to have locked in my final passions before we do this? Because I'm holding points as
No. Anything's flexible. Up and even through first session, I'm always pretty happy for people to move things around to get a feel. So just roll 3 times. Just roll all 3, and I'll do them in order.
3, 3, 6.
So interested. So these first ones. So in 3, you were at the Battle of St. Albans, or your father. Which is the same as Jackson, but specifically because you got the second role, you participated in the killing of King Octa. Whoever that is. I'll need to Google it. So they were actually involved in a critical part of it.
Yep.
Then for 6, can you roll another d6 again? If you get a 6, we'll have you re-roll, because that's one Jackson got.
2.
Okay. In 500... Oh, you are also hated by the Cornish. Woohoo! Became a hero in Dorset, but the Cornishmen remember him with hate. This is the Battle of Dorchester? Wherever that is. And they are not thrilled about it. All right, those are your 3. So then, Jim, add yours together, divide it by 4. That is your starting glory. All right, Alex.
I've got 2 events. I should have 3, right?
No. You rolled 3 twice, so yours was in the Battle of St. Albans. You had particular glory in participating in the killing of King Octa.
Understood.
I got my 2.
All right.
So I add those together, and that'll be a final of 3,500.
Perfect. And then divide that by 4, and there's your starting glory. All right, Alex.
Okay.
Can you roll? I'm gonna need an extra d6 for both of those. So do the first. Oh, hell yeah! All right. So for the first one, in 500, your ancestor destroyed a Saxon raiding group single-handedly. Everyone decided it was, in fact, very cool. Oh wow, your ancestor kicks ass. As a variable quest for your second one, they killed Jongon the Giant. The surviving giants of his band bear a grudge against this family. Sick.
Yeah.
Just cool.
Fantastic.
Just cool and good.
Love a giant
Cool and
slayer.
good.
Love a giant slayer. Okay. So, and Alex, once again, sum of your glory divided by 4. That is your initial glory.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's a little bit about what some of your family members have done. For your, as we said, you can be either gender. I don't need names locked from you now, but I will for the first session next week. And also, it's good to start talking about it a bit. And we'll have a think about how they go for up. So
that glory score as well goes in current glory and characteristics?
yes, the quarter one does. That'll be in your current glory.
Yep.
In this period, everyone just has one name. You don't have last names. And if you had a middle name, it just kind of gets jammed together, like Jean-Luc or anything like that. But because so many names are very, very vanilla, by names are used to distinguish. There are 4 types of by name. There is patronyms and patronymics and matronymics. That's basically saying son of, and then your father's name or your mother's name. There is, what was the next one? Locative, which is like of Salisbury or of wherever the hell we are. That one's probably not super relevant to you guys right now because identifying you within the place you live is not helpful. The exception could possibly be
more helpful when you move from one place to another.
Yeah. And even then, because it's all of you going together, like you guys, it probably gets illness. The exception would maybe be you, Alex, because if you are coming from a different area a little bit, it might help you stand out a smidge. Then there is occupational or social, which is like the smith or whatever. This isn't really relevant for knights. It would only be, maybe, Jim, I could see you getting one kind of facetiously for being like you were going to be a monk or whatever. Could be fun. And then the last one, and the best one, is characteristic, just like the vibe of the thing. You know, the red, big-nosed, or whatever. Sword, killer, so it could be based on achievement or anything. These can change, these can flex around, but they're cool and they're fun and they're good. And yeah, definitely consider having one. Some fun little bits, just because it's in the book, and I thought it was neat. So there is a families hold on to names, and they have a pretty clear passing for them. So your first child, the firstborn, would inherit the name of the paternal grandparent, so father or mother, respectively. Then the second kid gets the maternal grandparent. Third kid gets the father or mother's name. Then fourth they start going out to aunts and uncles and things. So in theory, each of you are the firstborn, with maybe the exception of Jim, who's maybe a secondborn and also a bastard, so you probably don't get a family name. But it's just interesting to see, you probably got the same name as your grandparent, and your sibling might have the same name as your parents, and I just think it's neat. I counted this out when I was doing my character, and this list of names is a D100 table. So if you want a random name, we've got them, and then you can always just re-go.
I think I'm good.
You know
You're
I
good?
do.
All right, Alex, do you
Biased.
want to hit me with a D100? And now okay, that one's easier because I will just count backwards. 100, 98, 99, 97. Oh, sick. Don't quite know how to pronounce it. Triamore? Seems kind of neat. And while you're looking at that, I'm going to look up a pronunciation guide.
That sounds like a made-up name.
It has
Well, I guess all names
auto-corrected
are made
to...
up.
Yeah, it's auto-corrected to tremors and then refused to give me a full pronunciation, so tremors.
Great, love this.
All right. So I think we've picked a few boxes through that. So this is kind of who your character is at completing becoming a squire. We now cycle through, kind of like a soft. So in Pendragon, you do one adventure a year, and then you go through the winter phase, where basic time progresses, and you get a chance to spend some points and do some stuff. In character creation, it kind of runs you through an accelerated winter phase where you just spend points every year, bang, 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 until you hit the criteria of what you need to be a knight or anything else. So, to be a knight, you need to be at minimum 21 years old. With exceptions, you can technically do it at 18. So Jackson, you could go for 18 because you'd have less points, but honestly, I don't think you need more points. It could be kind of cool to be a little bit younger than the other. It's a bit rash. So for each year that we do, so default is 7. You can technically do it in what it would be 4. Would be the minimum. You are going to do one of the following. You're going to distribute 5 points amongst your skills using the same limitations as previously. So still not above 15, appearance, all that good stuff. Or you can add 1 point to any trait or passion. If you do that, the maximum for a trait is 19 because they can't go up to 20 and 0. And the maximum for a passion is 20. So you can get up to like heroic passions at this point. Lastly, you can add 1 point to strength, size, dex, con, or appeal. They don't affect skill values, so your half dex calculation has already been made. They do affect derived characteristics. So if you bump your constitution up, your hit points go up, so on, so on, so on. What I would suggest is spend the points you need to hit the minimum for being a knight, and then decide what you want to do with everything else and see what that is. So I'll
How
write
many
it.
points, sorry?
I'll write it in. So you will do this 7 times. You can do 5 points to skills, 1 point to traits / passions, and these are all ors. So it's choose one, or 1 point to characteristic, and you do that 7 times.
Right.
And if you can get through it faster. So if Jackson, if you can get to it at 18, I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, I'm already there at 14, so I'm going to spend 4. So this is like time as a squire, right? I'm going to spend 4 years as a squire and then be a knight at 18.
Get the hell out, yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, prove yourself.
All right.
That's awesome.
I like being pretty min-maxed. 5 points to skills. Okay, this will probably get me to knight levels. Let's go.
Yeah. So some ones to consider. So knights kind of just as dudes, they regularly have your horsemanship, like mounted combat, heavy armor, get down, swing swords at one another. If you want to distinguish yourselves, so like Alex, for example, if you want to find like a niche that your knight is a bit non-standard, but you can spike it, you could go like using a bow is not considered knightly. But you could put points into it and hunting or something and be like, yes, I'm a bit of a average knight, but like I have this unique ability which gives me a lot of value in certain applications. Or you could go down the like, I can technically fulfill the criteria of the battlefield, but I'm really way better with my high hospitality and stewardship and singing. I'm like, I just go to the parties and I find out information and I make umps known, because like the meta objective through all of this is the pursuit of glory. That's you got to tell your stories.
To the round. With strength 7 and everything's kind of low except my con. But if I can get there soon enough, I might bump appeal.
Yep.
and then go down. Yeah, maybe.
100%.
Yeah, and those are all ore things, the 5 points to skills or...
That's right. Or
okay.
traits pattern. So I would suggest spend your points in skills so that you hit the minimum, and then with your excess, you can either get some more skills or go back and boost some traits and passions and characteristics around and stuff.
And the nightly ones that we need
are... you need to have a 10 in sword, a 10 in charge, and a 10 in brawling. And any 2 non-weapon nightly skills also at 10. Jackson has included a screenshot of that in the Discord.
The non-weapon ones are cool. And I'm just going to go, non-weapon, that includes like horse. Is that including horsemanship?
Horsemanship is yes, it is not a weapon skill. It's just
so I'm going to take horsemanship and something else. First aid. First aid is the other one I'm taking.
Yeah, that's really cool. Awesome.
Dave, you said bow is not very knightly.
Yes.
But surely crossbow
I think
is
also not
different.
Super knightly.
But it's got a cross in it. It makes you think of Jesus.
It is kind of pretty Christian. Let me read it. I've got a whole book here with all sorts of handy insight. What were you thinking?
That's where I'm thinking. Like crossbow, like newfangled. I think I am very much a golden child from a golden family.
Yeah,
I'm getting like wealthy kind of celebrity socialite kind of vibes. Very much glory, but completely unproven. But yeah, I think I'd like to have the latest gadgets.
Yeah, hell
which
yeah.
is
I love that.
crossbows.
Where the hell are where am I looking in this? Modifiers, blah 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 blah, skills. Oh, interesting. So, there's ministerly skills. Jim, ministerly skills include courtesy, industry, literacy, orate, religion, and singing. Just FYI. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to find the thing about.
I mean, it says knightly skills, all weapon skills.
Yeah, actually, I think it is. I definitely remember seeing somewhere that bows were just considered a bit twee. The explicitly non-knightly ones are chirurgery and industry. I think industry is like production.
Ooh.
And
Knights
chirurgery
get a cowardly check and lose 1 point of honor if they use a bow or crossbow against another knight.
Yes, there it is. Where's this, Jackson? Where are you looking?
Missile weapons 151.
Very good. I love that. So you can do it. You just everyone calls you a bit of a nerd.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's so funny.
And apparently, bows and crossbows don't do well if they get wet.
Yep. Oh, you just fully,
That's
and you
hilarious.
basically don't use, you don't get glory if you use a bow or a crossbow. Like, you haven't done it right. Get on the field and fight them.
Honestly, I like that because I got so much glory from my parent. I'm just gonna coast on that as long as I can.
What's your cowardly trait? You have quite high. You're muted,
really
Jackson.
valorous. You're like me. Muted.
Sorry. Yes. No. Yeah. 18 valorous.
Yeah,
too
so
cowardly.
I was like, it was so funny if you just.
Doesn't seem
like
to track.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? It's like I'm not using crossbow not because I'm scared, because it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
work.
am.
Doesn't
These
work.
are also I'm happy to weight scales to massage numbers around, particularly ones that are just like getting things towards, just what you feel the character is, especially because there's a lot of values that we've randomly generated and they can be in conflict. Like, I have super high all the religious skills, but my devotion deity just didn't come in.
Yeah.
So massage away. I'm not gonna worry about any of that.
And with can't be higher than the associated skill, right? So the associated characteristic with a skill, right? So
only appeal. Appeal's the only one that it cares about. For dexterity, you can go as high as you want. It's just your appeal that you can't get above it. Yeah.
I'm gonna play an instrument real good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think I'm gonna be good on horseback. Okay, so I can do that twice more. I think it's almost funny if I'm surprisingly good with the sword.
Yeah, I completely agree. Get to do the
What's the upper bits on that?
15. So just don't exceed 15.
Fuck it. I'm real bad at everything except I'm real good with the sword.
Sword and the flute.
Yep. pretty much.
The old Luton Lance.
There's
And
two.
horseback, because you can't exceed your horsemanship skill.
Smart.
So two non-knightly skills. Just
It's
reminding
one, and I'm
myself.
done.
I don't know, 2 non-weapon knightly skills. So
Two
awareness.
non-weapon.
Horsemanship is one of those.
Horsemanship is 1.
Yep.
The others, do you have
Okay,
no-
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So we are basically there. So everyone. So this is the age. So who? I presume Alex and Jimmy both used all 7 years, or
yeah.
will use all 7 years.
Yeah.
Jim.
I don't think I will actually. I think I'm still figuring out my points. I'm looking around what I want, but
will say,
I think I can get out.
It is assumed you do 7. Like 21
Okay.
is
I
very
will
much the
absolutely do
standard.
7.
You would have to. It would be. It's kind of remarkable going against that, like doing it.
I will not.
faster.
I will use the whole 7. Then. Yeah, perfect.
So
I am remarkable.
you really are, and your character's pretty good too.
Oh, stop.
So here we go. You are each. So it is assumed you were each born in 487. So that's for James and Alex. Jackson, you're going to be less than that. What do we say? 18. So 3 less than that. So you're in
490.
490. Year of our Lord. Your class, you are all squires, but you will by default become household knights. Possibly exceptions. We'll have to read what the knightiness is for Alex and Jim. You guys might have some slightly different ones, but I think you'd be high-side knights. You are the heir to your family. Again, by default, we can change that if anyone doesn't want to be or wants to be a different thing. That's totally fine. And you will get some equipment. We might handle some of this just in between before the next session, because it's mostly just putting numbers in at this point. We've kind of got the sense of the game. I kind of want to like put a bow around it and then talk a bit about the characters a bit more than the numbers. Only other thing I do want to do quickly is figure out everyone's passive glory. So every year, I think that's the mechanic, you just earn this much glory, and it just continues to stack, and then you add on top of that whatever you earn during like the sessions you play, because again, we'll only really do 1 adventure per year. So I'm gonna get everyone to add up basically each instance of this. So if you have a famous trait or passion, which is 16, so that's 16 and up, you get 15 for each of those. If you have an exalted trait or passion, and that is 20 and up, or it might be 21 and up, you will get 25 for each of those. I'll confirm whether it's... I think it is 21. I was reading that elsewhere. I thought it was 20 when I did my review yesterday, but I think I was wrong about that. You get 10, just because your standard of living is ordinary. For appeal, who had a high appeal? Jackson, what are you at? You at 15 in the end?
15 appeal.
You get 10. If you got to 16 and were elegant, you would get 25. So, something to look for in future.
Maybe I could put... Well, could I do that with one of my years?
Yeah.
So I can bump one
you can increase a
characteristic?
characteristic, yeah. Does that increase your age, or...
I think I better do that.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I got 4 years to spend. So instead of taking 20 skill points, I can take 15 skill points.
Yep.
And +1 to appeal, right?
Yep. Perfect. So you'll get 25
Great.
from that. So in this, you'll just kind of accrue as you guys do your missions, and it'll slowly build and build and build. You guys will all get some starting stuff. You'll get some armor, some weapons. You get a horsey. We absolutely will be describing the horses. That is a whole chapter in this book about describing horses, and we will be using it. A game about horses. It's worth considering what your family are. We can talk about that a bit more. Your holding will come up once you get to it, so much. And working towards ideals. From there, it's all about being knighted. So once you're knighted, you'll get some extra stuff, but that will come up in session. That's what we'll actually work towards in the first scenario. Those are our knights as they come in
Fantastic.
towards as they near the end of their squire training, and await excitedly to be knighted. I think we'll close this out by going around the table a bit, and you don't need to have the whole picture just yet. But as far as you've got it, kind of just like the pitch of your character, and then this is who we can all look forward to next week, seeing these fleshed out, named with horses. We can describe those as well. We'll do it in our same order we went in. So Jackson, if you want to reintroduce yourself as a sir.
Absolutely.
Well, not a sir yet, a squire.
I am Jackson.
Very close.
I am Jackson. I'm playing Hervis, son of Pharamond, because it sounds like Aragon. Yeah. My dad did everything. I got 4 roles in the family history table. He's been there, done that. He was at the Battle of St. Albans. He defeated a Saxon chieftain. He knows Merlin. My dad knows Merlin. And therefore, I've got an amazing starting glory of almost 1,200. So I spent 4 years as a squire before getting knighted. So everyone just agrees I'm pretty great. I've bumped my appeal up to 16. Yeah, I've kind of peaked at the tender age of 18. It's all downhill from here. I am the high school quarterback whose best years are right now.
Yeah, very exciting. Our golden boy. Very beautiful child. I was like, with high appeal, you're even well liked. Like, it's not that you're up there and they hate you. No, you're like a really nice guy. You're well liked. Yeah. Students kicks
until
ass.
It all comes crumbling down.
Fantastic. I will go across and meet Sir Jim.
Yes, well, not Sir Jim, a squire, and also I'm playing a different character. But yes, I will be playing. And it sounds silly, but I why I got so distracted is because I was trying to research it as much as I could. My name is Moab the Acknowledged, which is Moab is the biblical bastard. And since I was given to the church, I figured that was that would have been the name given to me. And acknowledgement was the term for under Welsh law for the legitimization of bastards.
Hell yes.
So canon as best I can. And I'll finish by quickly saying for passions for my last thing, because I kind of randomly ended up rolling relatively low devotion deity, and as you've expressed, we can use our points to fire into that. But as an alternate, which I think would be quite cool, would you let me take loyalty church or loyalty faith or something like that? I'm not necessarily religious, but I serve the church.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% like take those points and move them around. You could reduce your love family down to the grave and put it all into or just swap your love family for loyalty church if you want, Jim. And the idea that they didn't honor you, but the church did, and you're going to put it all towards them. I have
to play with that. Yeah,
That's
like it.
Awesome. I love that. All right, fantastic. Alex.
Okay. Well, I'm playing Triamos, and I think I will go a location-based surname. I just don't know any locations that I could come from. So
I've got a huge map that we can.
My general direction. Still thinking on those distinctive features because I've got a positive and a negative to go with, but I think it's going to be diminutive. Triamos the diminutive. Average as hell. Just you forget that she is there. Just average height, average build. Really not very strong at all. Below average strength. Pretty hardy though. High constitution, and it's just persevering. It's just getting up every day and doing what she's got to do, and surprising absolutely everybody, herself possibly most of all. Gonna get knighted, yo.
I love that. It's the one of like, it's not the it's the quote but tackier. It's like, it's not the one that does it. It's the one that turns up or whatever. Like you just
getting up
turn up every day and put in the hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of, you know, pretty well known for how devoted I am to the Lord, to Robert. It's, you know, I'm showing up harder than anyone's ever shown up before.
Hell yeah.
But quietly. Often not very well noticed, but you know what? I ticked all the boxes and put her on horseback with a chuck a sword in her hand, and actually kind of good.
Yeah. See what happens then.
Nothing else though.
Hey, look, we've got niches, and we'll continue to find more as we play. Fantastic, yeah. So this is going to be our cast of young squires. And we will pick up the story next week when they near the end of their training and hope to be knighted very, very soon. But, let's just hope that nothing gets in the way of that. This has been a little introduction, a peek into creating player knights in Pendragon. There's a lot of variety that can come through with it, and as you adjust things further, choosing different backgrounds and religions and things, it can change even more. But you can see how even with a fairly reduced scope, all of our knights have come from a quite similar background. You can get a lot of variety and already see how those they sort of tell different stories. And what I'm particularly excited about is to see how these knights change. These are them on the cusp of adulthood. But as we go through these stories, they will morph. They will have winter faces. They will have, families, and they will become very different to who they are as these bright-eyed and bushy-tailed youngsters. We'll look back on this session fondly, I'm sure, when they are very much different, only a few years from now. I think that's everything. Thank you everyone who tuned in to check us out, and definitely make sure you're here next week when we begin play. Thank you to Jackson, Alex, and James for hanging out and making some characters with me. And we'll leave it all there, and we hope we'll see you soon. Ciao.